Show. Coming up, our story of the week, along with this week's recalls and our Guess the Sold Car Price. Later, Jeff will bring us some of his car culture. 1970s car poses.
Yeah.
I like it.
Picture you next to your hot rod.
Everybody's got their clothes on, unfortunately, on this one.
Yeah.
Mr. Mars has driving directions for the 4th of July. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. David Ainsley is preparing, packing for his big trip to Michigan.
The UP.
Uper.
And he didn't invite us to go.
Again.
Yeah,
there's that. Well, anyway.
You forgot.
So glad you could join us. It's going to be a hot day again here in Houston. Hot I mean about 92 degrees.
Oh, I thought maybe you thought because I was going to be walking around outside. That's how hot it is out there.
That's exactly what I thought. You read my mind.
Right.
Oh, great Karnak. Well, we've got lots to get to in our 2-hour live program here. And so I thought we would just get right to it, shall we?
Shall we?
We're going to start off with our story of the week this week. And here is the story from Automotive News. Consumers are unimpressed with many driver assistance features and uncertain if more advanced systems will be useful. That's the assessment of a new J.D. Power white paper, which calls into question whether the efforts automakers are expending on driver assistance upgrades are worthwhile. Driver assistance has an identity crisis, according to Kathleen Rizk, J.D. Power's Senior Director of User Experience Benchmarking and Technology. Try to put that on a business card. And co-author of the paper told Automotive News. Owners of systems that offer level 2 automated driving, I didn't know that there were levels of automated driving, do not consider the systems convenient, and more advanced hands-free systems are not resonating with consumers. You ever driven a car that does all the driving function for you?
No.
You, Mars?
No, not all of them.
I don't trust it.
Well, some are okay. Others aren't worth a hoot. But they've got to get a lot better, in my opinion, for it to have wide adoption. Plus, are you going to pay $2,000, $3,000 for this feature? I'm not.
No, not if you're not going to use it, and if it's on there as a, is it an option or is it a normal feature and benefit?
Well,
I don't see the benefit. I see the feature. I don't see the benefit.
Yeah, most of them have their options. Okay, owners of systems that offer level 2 automated driving do not consider the systems convenient, and more advanced hands-free systems are not resonating with consumers. They're not seeing the value in the differences of these capabilities right now, Rizk said. Drivers said, if they must keep their eye on the road or be ready to take control at any moment, the feature doesn't offer any of the convenience it promises, according to the paper. And that goes with other things, too. Start-stop, you love that.
Oh, I hate it. No, I absolutely turn off.
What I don't understand is, so they put the start-stop feature on there, and it is like it's on, and you have to turn it off.
Right.
How about switching it around?
Yeah, turn it on if you want it on.
Correct.
Yeah. I turn mine off. I put the seatbelt on, turn off the start-stop.
Motorists did not understand if the fundamental purpose of the system was to offer convenience or improve safety, and only 24% of respondents felt that active driving systems made them better drivers. Only 24%. That decreased as automation's role expanded. 18% said that hands-free driving, a more advanced technology, made them better drivers. Well, because they couldn't drive to begin with. Middling experiences with present-day technology will limit U.S. motorists' interest in paying for more sophisticated technology later, according to this woman. The stymie, that could stymie car makers' burgeoning plans to hook consumers into subscriptions for driver assistance systems. Tesla, prominent example, charges $8,000 up front or $99 a month for its assisted driving system that it calls full self-driving. Others are looking to follow that lead. Mercedes-Benz, $2,500 for its Drive Pilot system. General Motors CEO Mary Barra, your favorite, has said her company anticipates $2 billion in annual revenue from Super Cruise within the next 5 years. Okay. You think
That's
so?
just, well, go ahead. Finish
Now,
that.
I guess that the issue here that I have is that I realize that I'm an older American, and I like to drive to begin with. Don't you?
Yeah.
I like to drive.
I do too.
And I don't need the car to drive for me. I prefer driving myself. That's just me. Let me thumb through
Well,
this.
while
here.
you're thumbing through there, that's an option that they have for the driving. There's other options that you can turn off. When I bought mine, they were going through the litany of things in the queue that you can turn on. Your if you get too close to something, your seat vibrates. That's good. That's a good thing. And then the other is the distance. You can have the car slow down or automatically stop if your distance is too close. I don't like that feature. I turn it off. Or lane changing, when you stay in the lane and you got to fight the wheel to change the lane. I hate that. I turned that all off. So the only one I actually work manually is the start-stop function. That's it. I don't have the automatic drive. I don't have all that hands-free stuff. So you can keep it. And if I'm ever in a car that has it, I refuse to use it. I don't want it. Or I don't even want the option. That's my opinion.
I don't use it either. The car that I'm currently driving out there, and I've had this problem now twice, and both of them are Chrysler products, where you put it in reverse. Now, I have a slight grade from the street onto my driveway that goes over the sidewalk. It's very slight, right? It's not very steep. It's just very slight. Put it in reverse. Well, apparently the reverse sensor on the thing, the backup thing, my God, it slams on the brakes.
Oh, mine does that too, pulling out of the garage sometimes. Yeah, absolutely.
It slams on the brakes.
And I figured out you've got your foot depressed on the brake pad as you're rolling backwards and you're kind of easing off it. Well, if you touch that a little too hard, it will stop. I noticed that it's the pressure that you put on the brake pedal is, in my experience, is that it will stop the car.
Well, in my car, I don't even have my foot on the brake. And it just, all of a sudden, I'm in reverse and it goes, what? It squeals the tires, skids
Chirps
the
them,
tires on there. It's that violent.
In the driveway.
In the driveway, backing up. What? What is that?
It's a recall.
No.
Yeah, something's pointed at
It's
the
a
wrong
recall.
angle. Yeah.
I thought maybe your camera might be pointed down and it sees that concrete and stops.
I don't really know what the problem is, but it's very annoying and frightening, actually. Because you're thinking, oh, my God,
What
I'm
did I
going to
hit?
run over a baby, or is there
Yeah.
somebody walking behind me or
Exactly.
whatever? I don't get it. An Alex Partners study issued in April found market penetration of level 2 automated driving systems has reached approximately 56% in China, while 38% of new vehicles in the U.S. contain level 2 driving technology. U.S. market will eventually adopt driver assistance tech at a greater scale, but that adoption will not be at the same pace as earlier technologies such as adaptive cruise control. I do like that. So you hit the cruise control, and you can adjust the distance between you and the car ahead of you.
Right.
I usually like to have it nice and short so people don't cut in between us, but whatever. It works great. When I have a car that doesn't have the adaptive cruise control feature, kind of saddened by that because I like that.
But that only operates when you have the cruise on.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 Market research and consumer willingness to pay for new features is going to take a lot longer than manufacturers want because the technology is there. Not always the best, but it is there. And, oh, Jeff, come on in. Let me show you this new feature.
Yeah, what are we going to monkey with today?
Comes out in the Buick, and this is going to be perfect for you. It's only going to cost you $2,000 more.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, no, I'm good with all that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for trying.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. How about let's do some recalls real quick here, shall we?
Yeah.
Mike agrees.
Mars just spoke up there,
He
didn't he?
did.
Yeah.
You're joining in the conversation,
Can't-
Mars?
Well, I'm trying
What
to.
he's trying to do is he's over there fiddling on the computer like every teenage girl does.
He actually is trying to help the show out with that.
Is that what he's trying to
he
do?
absolutely is.
Oh, you're speaking up on his behalf?
No, I see him.
He's
what
trying
he's
to
doing.
cover for me. I'll slip you some money in a little bit, Jeff.
General Motors is recalling 62,000 Chevy Silverado heavy duties, 4,500, 5,500, 6,500 from the 2019 to 2024 model years. In the affected vehicles, the brake pressure sensor might have been assembled in a way that allows brake fluid to leak beyond the seal and into the brake pressure switch, increasing the risk of fire under the hood.
Oh, man.
God. Other recalls? I have a list of Ford products here that goes on infinitum. Backseat occupants may become trapped in the Ford Mustang Mach-E 21 to 25. Side marker and daytime running lights may fail. Lincoln Navigator for 2022.
Let's get back to the Mustang. They're locking you in the car?
Apparently.
If the battery goes dead,
Backseat occupants may become trapped. I didn't drill down into it, what's causing it, but it's being recalled for that.
Okay.
Sudden loss of brake function. I just did that. The heavy duty. No, I did not. That wasn't for Fords. That was for Chevys. Ford heavy duties, super duties as they call them, 2012 model year, and they're all heavy duties. Sudden loss of brake function. Improperly displaying instrument panel. I don't know what it's displaying. Nude pictures or something.
I don't know.
That would be for the Ford Ranger 2025. Damaged wire harness may cause engine stall, Ford F-150 2025. Child safety lock may not prevent the door from opening, Ford Bronco 2025.
Wow.
Passenger airbag may deploy improperly, Ford Bronco 2025. Ford Mustang Mach-E 2025 vehicle rollaway risk. Second row seat may move unexpectedly in the Ford Explorer and the Aviator for 2020 to 2025. Martha, was that you back there kicking my seat?
Martha's not there anymore. Martha rolled away.
She rolled away.
Backed up until you hear glass.
Loss of brake function on a bunch of Volvos. I'm not going to
man.
go through them. This list is too long. 2020 through 2026 on some of them.
Wow.
A brake pedal may shift out of position. You know, there was a brake pedal there. Wait a minute. It's over on the passenger
It's
side.
in the back seat now.
Acura MDX, TLX, and the Pilot, 21 to 25 model years.
Well, there you go. Pilots don't need brakes.
Properly tightened restraint tie-down fasteners. If you got kids, that's not good. Chrysler Pacifica, Voyager, and Sienna Hybrid, 2021 to 2025. And a bunch of Mercedes-Benz inadequate impact protection in the C-pillar. You know how you count pillars, right?
Yeah.
First,
A,
up the windshield is A.
B.
Behind the driver is B. In the back seat, passenger back there, that's C. Some cars actually have a D pillar as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those are the recalls. Okay. Let us move on and have a good time with this week's Guess the Used Car Sold Price.
Oh, my.
And I believe that you have one.
I do.
It's the first one up. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present from Hemmings Motor News the 1953 DeSoto Fire Dome. It's a station wagon. It's got Jeff's name written all over it.
It looks kind of like a
I like that-
53 Chevy.
Jeff-
I like
Fire-
that toothy grill. Guess how much that car sold for?
$32,000.
Oh, no. I would say 24.
Do we have anybody joining us?
Well, Jeff and George were on here, but sometimes they're...
Well, maybe they're just waking
I
up.
like the copper color. I like the not white top, but
Cream color.
Cream color. Off
George says 16,999.
16,999.
What is he, a used car salesman today or what?
Every day. Sold car
Heitzman says 11.
11. Well, Heitzman's closest. It sold for $12,864. $12,864.
I was going to buy 3 of them.
Okay. Here's another Jeff car, a 1960 Cadillac 62.
Oh my gosh!
Look at that thing. Look at the size of it.
It's
And
Elvis.
It's smiling at me.
pretty much 1960 Cadillac 62. How much did that thing sell for?
Give me a hint, Jeff.
I'm gonna go 40.
40. Go ahead,
You
Morris.
could probably get 25 out
And
of
that's
scrap
just-
metal on
that's
it,
just for
but
the
I would,
bumper.
I would say I'm going to say 20. Heitzman says 20.
Okay.
George says it's an Art Grindle special.
Grandall.
He is a used car
He
salesman.
says 21,999.
Well, actually, George wins because it was 22,260.
Oh man!
George, it might not fit in the garage, but that is
Oh, no,
your car, buddy.
It will
See, I just get
fit it in the
excited.
backyard.
I get overexcited when I see.
We're going to
stuff.
move on to another Cadillac. This is a 1991 Cadillac Brougham.
$9,000. I'm going right up the top.
I'm you're thinking, wow, that's
I don't even wanna hear
that's a
it.
two-body in the trunk car. But so I 15.
Well,
That's all I got.
all right.
George said yes. He's still drooling over the blue one. Heitzman says 29,000.
Sold car price. Now, by the way, I had to look at this to see why it sold for this. It only has 37,000 original miles.
Okay.
Oh, so you didn't tell
We
us
should have
that.
waited. No, I interrupted him. I stopped him.
14,999 from George.
I
George
stopped.
wins. Sold price
Again!
$15,750. We're going to have to send him
We're
some
gonna cut
steaks
George
or something.
off
I
or
don't know.
something.
Next up
The
is-
wheel covers on this, I had those in the wintertime on my Nova.
Oh, God.
I did.
They all get packed up with snow.
No, they were just wheel covers and to protect the
lug nuts
I
and
took the
stuff.
mags off. Anyway,
Oh, I see.
Different story.
1965 Ford Mustang convertible. Now, this is not, I can't imagine this being a numbers matching car or anything like that. This is a driver. It's a convertible. And I've told you all that I'm going to tell you. For a 65 Ford Mustang convertible, how much did it go for?
I'm going to say 17.
I'm going to go 24. Because, 24 is where I'm at.
Correct.
Heitzman says 31. And our used car salesman that's with us, George, hasn't piped up yet.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you that it sold for $27,300.
Oh, boy.
27.
That would be a great Hot Rod Tour of Texas car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just them things, the 65s and 66s have just, the price on them, 6-cylinder, automatic, that's just, and they're convertible.
Yeah.
It's gotten stupid money as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's not stupid money.
No.
Well, compared to where I remember buying them for $1,000.
Well, there's that. All right, next up, the 1941 Cadillac 62D.
All right.
That is a mobster car if I ever saw it. How much did that sell for?
I think that was in the movie, the second Godfather.
How much?
wasn't it?
Come on, we got to roll through this.
Okay,
We gotta
okay.
move
I'm gonna
up.
go. I'm gonna go for 28.
28.
I'll go 25.
Okay. Anybody else?
No, they got a little bit of a delay,
$11,550.
Oh, boy. Next.
and it still won't fit in the garage.
64 Pontiac GTO. It is a hardtop 64 GTO.
Pretty car.
This is a
like
restored
aftermarket
award
wheels.
winner.
Restored
A
award winner?
restored award winner.
35.
35,
45.
45,
George says 37,999.
52,908.
All righty.
So I don't know whether it's a frame off or what, but
Yeah, restored.
it's a pretty hefty price for a 64.
Yes.
Next up, 1972 Buick Riviera. This is a rebuilt 455 motor in it, and it is restored. How much?
Aftermarket. How can it be restored? It's got aftermarket wheels
Yeah, I
on
know.
it and a motor.
So
No.
it's a resto mod, but it's
All right, all right, all right.
restored
Okay.
body. Okay.
I'll tag 28.
I'll
28.
go. I'll go 16.
It sold for $29,925.
Man, I'm off.
Way to go!
Yeah. Good job.
All right, two more.
It's the only way we can win. If George is too far behind, he can't contribute.
This, ladies and gentlemen, it's rough. It looks rough. This is a 1988 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser. Now, this is not the
Vista.
Vista Cruiser with the little windows on the top. So this is an 88 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser, and it's rough looking.
$8,000.
$8,000.
It's still in the shipping crate. I'll go for 7.
$7,000.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
No, I think.
All right. Sold price $3,900.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's
Yeah, it
rough.
is rough.
And we're going to end with a summer car, 1968 Volkswagen Beetle, convertible.
68.
How much did that sell for? Looks clean.
15.
14.
Really? It sold for $14,700.
Yeah. I won one.
All right. Well, it's because George isn't playing anymore.
Thank you, George.
It has no horsepower, as you know.
No, but it's got a convertible, and you could tool around town with the top
That'd be
down and
something.
burn
Yeah,
your head.
that would be something for a high school graduation gift.
Yeah.
All right, just ahead, Jeff's car culture, pop car poses from the 1970s, and Mars driving destinations for the 4th of July. In Wheel Time Car Talk continues right after these brief messages. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. Hey, In Wheel Time's back home in the Sugar Shack studios, as you can tell, and we hope you'll join us 10 to noon Central Time every Saturday for our live rendition about all things automotive. Thanks for being with us today. Time now for Jeff's Car Culture this week. 1970s car poses.
Yeah, that's right. Now, this right here, heavy on the engine, but light on amenities. Buying a muscle car was an achievable goal.
Look at the girl.
Yep.
With the go-go boots.
Proud muscle car owners in their pictures. Now, this is a Chevelle, and it's captioned by the owner, purple accents on some Chevy power. Now, what I see there is kind of a fall-winter shot. I'm thinking it's either the owner or somebody's girlfriend. Hey, get in front of the car. I'm going to take a picture.
Or dad taking a picture of the daughter's new car.
Right, could be, absolutely. So the next one we have, and these are all real people. Come on, there you go. This one is entitled Couples Photo, His and Hers Mopar. Look at that.
Mopar magic.
Wait a minute. Is that John Hovis? John Hovis.
Might be. You never know. All right, here's a favorite of mine. This was called Out Front, and who hasn't taken a picture like this in front of your house?
Oh, God, yeah.
There, look at that guy. Now, nice car. Looks like he's a hot rod. Looks like
he was at the Lupi Tortilla bar last night.
This one is entitled Nifty Fit or Nifty Ride. So it's a pretty tall guy, probably a basketball player in high school and all that good stuff. Nice
Bell
car.
bottoms.
Bell bottoms. Yeah, he's got the boots, got the zipper boots.
Yeah, he's got the John Lennon boots.
And everything. Yeah.
I think we all have a picture like that somewhere, don't we, Mike?
Not that I'm showing.
Okay. Just making sure.
That would be you with hair.
And then this one is called Mopar, Muscle on the Farm. Now look at that. That is one hot-rodded car.
I like the barn.
I think the young lady looks a little scared being in front of it.
Scared? Yeah.
She's a little scared. So that is a nice one. And, of course, you've got the hot rod in the background as well.
The old hot rod.
The old hot rod.
Yep.
Okay.
And the farm implement on the side.
This one is entitled Making Improvements by just squeezing out a few more, and then we'll leave that up to you. But the thing I noticed on this, that's all going to be brought to your attention here in a minute, the hole in the hood. Look at the hole in the hood. It's cut. Looks like
Like
it's
a saber saw.
Yeah.
Is that a Wisconsin car?
It.
Can't really tell.
I think it's a Wisconsin car.
America's Dairyland.
Yeah, America's Dairyland, of
981
course.
car.
There you go. A couple of dairy things going on there. Absolutely.
He said that.
I know he said
This one, Kathy and I have a picture like this somewhere around, but this is called Waiting by the Car. We have places to go drive. So look at the car in the background. Look
So
at
you
that.
got the Mustang back there and the Charger up
the
here.
The Charger up front. Look at the wheels. That young lady's ready to go. You know, she could be going to the mall.
She's waiting for you to get in the car and drive her
get in
over
the
there.
car.
Somebody to
Let's
in
go.
there, yeah. So, again, these are all real people, real cars. So send them to me, and I'll get you on here, and we'll do that. This one's pretty good.
Dang.
This one's
Custom
called
Corvette.
Garage Posing.
Are those velvet pants?
Sleek silver paint.
He's looking
it
at
looks like velvet.
I'm
yeah.
looking at the fender wells
Velour.
that have been cut and flared.
Yeah, looks like velour, possibly. It's got blood red interior on that. Nice
Velour.
side pipe. I'm thinking velour. Nice young lady, probably posing by her boyfriend's car. It could be her car.
Or Dad's car.
It could be Dad's car as well. You never know. Or Mom's. Could be Mom's. Now this one, this brings back. This looks like me with.
I was just going to say that is.
This was
you.
called bell bottoms and a V8. Look
Yeah.
at those raggedy old bell bottoms.
He's
Who
looking
didn't
back
have
at
a
the
pair
front
of
door going, "Oh, Mom."
Yeah, and you know it's either a spring day because it's kind of wet, trees haven't bloomed or
Yep.
anything, all that good stuff. He's got a T-shirt on, no belt, skinny jeans. I like it.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
That was kind of.
Yep. Now this one's just a plain old beach. Drive it right up to the water, get out, do some sun tanning. It's got
70 model.
Keystone Classics on some Goodyear tires.
And
on
you
the
know,
beach.
it's all washed up.
Yep.
And he's trolling for girlfriend.
Yeah, sand crabs. Look at the background on that. You got a Volkswagen bus, you got a microbus, you got some vans, a couple of things in the
The
background.
girlfriend probably took the
Yeah,
picture.
that or the beach patrol.
It looks like he's got clothes hanging up on the inside so he could change and get back to school.
He's going on a date. This one's entitled "Too Bad This Front Seat Is Taken." So look at that.
The guy driving it and two chicks
No,
in the
no,
front.
no. Those are
it's
two
two
chicks. Those are two women's.
No, I
Yeah.
understand that, but that's not her legs.
No, that's the driver's leg. That's the driver.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Two girls and the
Yeah.
guy.
That's not a guy.
Yeah,
That's not a guy. Okay, you know what? Here's a. I'll stop.
Don't
for
let
you.
him look. Don't let him.
Here's a bonus shot for you. That's me in 1977. Is my Nova out front, and you know how the crimes when they fade.
You
your
know what
picture,
that looks like?
They block out your picture. when
That
you're
looks
crime?
like you posing as question mark in the Mysterians.
Could be, but yeah, this is a criminal thing where they blur out your face. But that's my Nova in the background, in Kathy's, my mother-in-law's driveway. Look at that. And
Well, you can hardly make it out.
Well, that's the only one I had. I don't have a lot of pictures of it. It's the only one I had.
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep.
Mr.
So,
Mars,
send
driving
them to me.
destinations, 4th of July. You got about a minute and a half.
Got lots
Oh,
of stuff,
boy.
so we're going to go pretty quick.
Okay, let's go.
So up in Addison's Kaboom Town draws 400,000 people if you're looking for some fireworks. Now, this is actually considered the third best fireworks show in
Addison,
the entire
Texas?
country. Yes, up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Got lots of vintage warplanes going on. Got an air show. Lots of things to go along with food trucks and for the 4th of July. Then you can slide over to Fair Park 4th in Dallas if you really want to go to something different. And got lots of music, including the Army Reserve Band, kids zones, water fountains for cooling off. Now, this is at the stadium, so be sure and check out the Cotton Bowl with the lagoon and the indoor air conditioning venues for the Fair Park 4th of July. Now, you go down to Frisco Freedom Fest. This is for you, Don. Spanning 2 days at the Kaleidoscope Park at Frisco Square.
not do that to
Honors
the poor
veterans
vets.
with got tournaments, dog parades, drone show leading up to the fireworks. A lot of great things going on there. Then if you're over in the Austin area, they got the HEB concert and fireworks on July the 4th. Now, this is where they synchronize the Austin Symphony plays and they fire up the fireworks. You got food trucks, concerts, Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic going on, all kinds of things. Then you can slide over to the Sandy Beach Golf Cart Parade and Flag Ceremony in Brownwood if you're looking for something a little bit different. And they cruise by in decked out golf carts leading in lots of other festivities, food trucks going up to the fireworks display. Here's one I thought was rather different. It's a sensory-friendly LED light show up in Cypress Waters up in the
cool.
Dallas area. For people that are, the lights and the loud noises kind of bug them, so they've gone to an LED wristband light show that goes to the music along with food and a lot of other festivities, including a petting zoo. Then if you're more into the rustic world, you can go off to Stamford, Texas, which hosts the Cowboy Reunion over the weekend. Wild West, of course, you got the chuck wagon cook-offs, horse racing, fiddling contests, street dances, and the big rodeo leading up to the fireworks. And finally, the 4th of July is the Canal Walk in Las Colinas, Irving, where it's all lit up, and you can walk around for the weekend with the lights, and it leads up to the 4th of July. Everybody's got some fireworks or something going on. This coming up for the 4th of July, places to go and things to do and people to see.
All right. Thank you,
Beautiful.
sir. All right. In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this break.
You own a car you love.
Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. Yes, indeed. It is the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Owen Pittman, Houston Motorsports Park. Sprint cars are coming. Plus, Jeff will have the cruise-in and events calendars, and I'll bring you stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. David Ainsley packing, getting ready for his big trip to the UP of Michigan.
Don't forget your toothbrush.
Yeah, well, several. And don't forget the toothpaste, because where he has his little cottage, you have to get in a boat and go to the mainland.
Oh, to do shopping and all that.
Groceries and that sort of
Groceries
thing. Be sure and get enough toilet paper to last for a
There
few
you go.
days.
Well, if he's on the lake, he's got plenty of leaves. There's big leaves out there. He'll work it out.
Did you do that too?
He's a smart guy.
Back in the day when you were a kid?
No, we went across in the boat and got the toilet paper.
Mars?
Sir.
I'm not even going to venture into that.
No venture. Adventure.
Or adventure. Okay, well, it's all on you, Mars.
I'm hunting for Mr. Owen Pittman right here. I've sent an email and a text, and I'm just trying to roust him out.
Smoky signals.
He may have had a big race last night, so he may be running a little slow.
Bringing the
here.
trophy home.
Yeah. He's got two tracks, one down in Corpus Christi to go along the one with here at HM&P.
Oh, I did not know that. I know the track. I've never been to it, but I know where it's at, the track down in Corpus.
Yeah, yep. So that's he's a promoter down there for that as well.
Cool.
Why do they call that South Texas if it's Corpus Christi? Because that really is mid-coast, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would think that.
That's
but
what I've always thought.
I didn't invent it. I'm sure someone, maybe my cousin Doug that lives down there, he'll chime in and tell us.
You know, back in the day, we didn't have big 4th of July things at Meyer Speedway. It was the 4th of July, but we had, I think, the big race called the Liberty Bell 300.
Oh.
And cars from all over came, so we got to see different cars. And apparently the purse was pretty big. Stands were packed. Lots of fun. Started late in the afternoon as opposed to the usual start time of 7 o'clock. But... and it didn't make any difference whether the 4th of July made no difference as far as the race was concerned because it was held on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
And 4th of July is on a Friday.
Did you have any local racing up in Michigan when you were growing up?
Well, they probably had the drag strip, but nothing like that. Nothing like that.
They didn't have circle track.
No. Probably around Flat Rock, maybe, but never ventured out.
Where was Flat Rock?
Flat Rock, south of Detroit. I believe it was south. Yeah, south of Detroit. And then they had the drag strips out west, and people did go out there. It's not like today. You got the big complexes and things. It's more like, this.
These
Street.
tracks are closing.
Yeah.
By the dozens every year.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame.
And I saw Seth's profile. He's out in Austin now.
Living out there?
Yeah, lives in Austin now. So good for him.
Well, there's no racetrack out there.
It's nice. Probably to get a nice home and chilling.
He's probably having fun.
Yeah.
on
I
Lake
remember,
Travis or something.
Yeah, I called him one time to see about talking to him after the track closed down to kind of talk about it. He wouldn't even talk about it. He was really
Done.
upset over it. I mean, I think he was heartbroken that it was shut down.
Well,
I mean, it was a business decision. I mean,
Yeah.
it was apparently the right thing to do at the time. But
Well, it was a family decision.
yeah,
well, yeah, but they offered them, I would imagine, a buku load of money.
yeah,
Because,
stupid money.
stupid money because of the warehousing that has started
Yeah,
popping
location.
up over there.
Yeah.
And it's so close to the bay and gives them access to deep water port and all that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. And all that over there is now, except for the racetrack. The racetrack actually is still there.
The quarter.
And the little office building was there last time I was there.
Correct. The front, right up there toward the street.
Yeah.
Credential. The Credential building.
Yeah, but the media center, and the big tall stuff, and all of the stands are gone. But the actual track itself is still there. They haven't dug it up yet.
I
It's
wonder
like
who's-
they had these big plans and they tore it all down and said, let's wait.
Well, the problem there is that if you have all that still sitting there, then that's destined to be raced on in the middle of the night. Death,
Yeah.
destruction, and all of that.
Yeah.
Problems.
Yeah. So I think that they said, nah, we're not going to avoid all of that and just take off. Well, they sold the stands.
Yeah. I wonder who's got the Christmas tree.
I don't know. That's a
Maybe-
good question.
Maybe Seth's got it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because that
Or
was
one of-
not the original
one of the-
Christmas tree to the track.
One of the other family members may.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's belonged to NHRA and they took it back. You never know.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think that NHRA brought their own Christmas tree.
Oh, so I got you. Yeah, they put it in rather than having any controversy. It's your
Right.
tree and
It's
not my
rigged
tree.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's different than
Well,
what
it makes
everybody
sense.
else has.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And NHRA's this weekend, and Tony Schumacher had a big explosion, right lane launch. Car blew up. Well, lost the blower, but he's all right. So
What's up with Erica?
I don't know. I haven't really been hearing a lot.
Well, last night she qualified 7th, and Greg Anderson is walking away. We're at mid-season, and he is walking away with the championship. Uncontested, pretty much.
Say
Greg
that
Anderson.
again.
Greg Anderson.
Oh, Greg Anderson. I'm sorry. I heard Greg Anderson.
Well, that's what I heard the first time.
I did
but-
that too. See.
And I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
But and then when I
Greg
caught it,
Anderson.
yeah.
Yeah. And Erica's, I think that she's pretty much out of contention of trying to worm her way back to the top.
Yeah.
It's a runaway.
It was a good fight this season. I mean, it's not over, but anything can happen.
Yeah.
But
So the other thing that's disappointing is that they don't have, like last weekend, they did not have a pro stock.
no. They ran
Entry.
bikes. They ran bikes last weekend.
Yeah. I'm not into the bikes, never have been.
No, but they're fun to watch. And what I see now in the two-wheeler version, there's a lot more women coming on board.
One of the things that I really never quite understood when they started cutting back on the number of pro stock races, they still had the Nitro Funny Car and dragsters, but they never replaced anything with or for the pro stock cars. And I always thought, well, that would be a great segue for the pro mods.
Well, they do actually have broadcasts of the pro mods, the 30-minute segment later on in the week.
I
but
understand that, but it's not run with the
that's-
actual event.
Right.
It's run
TV event, right.
right. And so why not put it on?
I agree.
Because those cars are scary fast.
Or have some type of novelty race. Have the jet cars out there or something. That'd be fun to watch.
Big bucks.
Get them all pumped up, and then they go, whoosh, and that's it.
That's it.
Yep. You like that, Mike? Whoosh, whoosh.
I know it was a technical
What are you
term.
doing over there? You looking for a guest?
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
He's shopping online.
Did you try to
So I
call?
about decided to go to Amazon.
Did you try to call him
Call
on the
them.
phone?
Well, I was
Texted,
going
email.
to, but my calendar book didn't make the trip this morning. Apparently, it's on my desk that has all that information in it.
Did you not call him earlier?
This morning?
No, during the week.
Oh no, man! Emails, boom, 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 boom. Text, boom, boom, boom.
I was going to say because, you do have the recent phone numbers of people that you call.
Well, but
you,
yeah,
didn't-
when
you never talk to him.
Not this time. I mean, I've talked to him in the past, and he's always showed up when he was supposed to. So I took him.
Maybe he had a pre 4th of July night last night. And
Like wait, here he comes. Maybe somebody's coming in.
Ta-da.
Really?
Somebody. Let's see who it is. He's getting connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we just let you take it.
Well, thank you very much.
Tell me when.
Let's see who this is.
It's
Let me get him unmuted.
It's that guy.
There he is. Owen. Hello.
There he is.
Hey, you there, guys?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
You know, when they wave the green flag, everybody steps on the gas and goes.
Oh yeah, full throttle. We're racing today down here in Corpus Christi, so at my other racetrack. So it's a hectic day for me, to say the least.
Could you tilt your camera down just a bit so we could actually see you instead?
There you
go.
are.
Perfect. Thank you.
Shooting it at the roof.
Yeah, that's it. So you're in
Sorry
Corpus
about
Christi. We kind of suspected that you were in Corpus Christi this weekend. We don't know why, but we
Yes,
did.
sir.
Yeah. So have you kind of maneuvered the schedules in such a way that you can do 2 tracks like every other weekend or something? How does that work for you?
Yeah, for the most part, we had to overlap I think 3 events this year due to rainouts and other problems. So for the most part, when I built the schedule, I built it where 1 week I would be in Corpus and then the next week I would be in Houston. So Houston's a once a month thing, so it wasn't too difficult to do. Like I said, we just got on top of each other a few times, and those times I basically go to the track that is needs me there most, and I send some guys that help me out a lot and can handle it without me, so they go to the other track.
So what is your title? What is it that you do actually?
I'm the promoter for both tracks, so basically I control everything on race day. I basically run both facilities in Houston, just the oval track, not the drag strip. So basically I'm the guy that has to pay the bills when it comes down to it.
Gotcha.
Everybody works for me.
You're kind of like the wrestling promoter then.
Yeah.
You gather up,
It's a-
I think that there's something to be said about that comparison, because you're talking about oval track racers, and from what I have learned over the years is that some can be quite cantankerous, to put it mildly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we froze him.
Well, that pretty much.
There he is.
There he is.
All right.
So I don't know what you.
You're back.
Yeah. Did you
Lost
hear?
you for a second.
Did you hear what I said?
No, sir.
So I said that the wrestling connotation there that I threw up there is kind of like the wrestling is very similar to the actual track racers in the fact that they can be cantankerous at times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how many? I understand we're going to have a big sprint car event this coming Saturday night. Not tonight, but a week from tonight.
Yes, July 5th, we have a sprint car event. The elite non-wing 410 Outlaws will be at HMP
Well, that's right up
for the
your
first
alley.
time.
Yeah.
It's right up Don's alley.
Well, and I, when we were talking about this before we went on the air, I said, my guess is they're not going to have any wings on them because too much downforce, and that they get in trouble when you got that kind of downforce and you build up that speed, and it tears up everything, not only equipment, but tracks and fences and everything.
Yeah, so there won't be no wings. It'll be a wingless show, and yeah, that downforce it's a lot. And on pavement, it's a total different game. They need it on that dirt, but on the pavement, it's completely different. So yeah, it's definitely not necessary. They're going to be by far the fastest things going around that oval in a long time, if not ever.
So where did the name Elite 410 come from?
Well, Elite's just the name of the series that's coming in. 410 is the motors, so it's a 410 series. So they run 410 cubic inch motors, just
Wow.
like World Outlaws or any of the big sprint series.
Huge.
It's the same concept. So in sprint car racing, you have a 410, then you drop down to a 360 motor, or you can go down to a 305 motor. Those are the three main platforms for racing sprint cars. It's 305s, 360s, and 410s. 410s being the top.
How many cars are you expecting next Saturday night?
16 to 18.
16 to 18. Oh, that's perfect. Let's hope that it's
Yeah,
18.
you don't want too many.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that these guys race together, and I do some sort of a circuit in Texas.
Correct. The circuit's primarily dirt, so they're all getting thrown. And as a matter of fact, the way the promoter from the Elite Series set it up is it'll be dirt cars only. So they have to convert their dirt car over into an asphalt car to race this one race a year, including buying asphalt tires, etc., to come race here versus
shocks, all that. Yeah.
You know, there's some full-time asphalt stuff out in Florida and out that way, and those cars are built for the asphalt, and there's a difference. And so these are all dirt cars. They pretty much race together all over Texas on the dirt already.
What?
The both points leaders will be here. I think it's a tied series. They'll be here. Paul White, who's won the Silver Crown Championship, will be here. There'll be some big names here.
What is the average speed on that dirt?
I don't know that I have an answer to that. never figured that out.
And
And I have no idea what those guys are going to go around there in speed-wise.
And before we leave, you need to give us where both tracks are located, the one in Corpus and then, of course, the one in Houston for the folks that are listening in.
Having a hard time hearing
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry.
It's just real quiet.
That's
I'm sorry.
okay. Well, you need to give us the directions of where your tracks are located in Corpus and in Houston for the folks that want to go out there next weekend and this weekend.
Sure. In Corpus, it's at 6701 Old Brownsville Road in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
It's right on the edge of town here. Been here since '95. I owned it since 2005. Then I sold it, and now I just work there for the guys that currently own it.
Okay.
And Houston, it's you get me lying about that too. So
It's Houston
Give you the
Motorsports
exact
Park.
address.
It's up on Lake Houston
Lake Houston,
Parkway
yeah.
up on the northeast side of town, and it's very easy to find. All you do is Google it, and you can get there from the Beltway, or you can get there from 59, the East Tex Freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
not
always
that
go down that. What is it, Mount Houston Road?
Yeah,
or
East Mount
Lake
Houston.
Road?
Yeah,
But, man, it's like
make sure you got your gun with you when you go down that road.
yeah, that road's a little rough.
Yeah, to say, well, that part of town
On
is
several different levels.
Yeah, on several different levels. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But you're also going to have the regular Saturday night lineup out there running, not with them at the same time, but on the circuit with the regular cars that go out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have 8 classes total at this. Actually, 9 classes at this event. We start about 7 o'clock, and we typically wrap up about 10. The goal is always 10 o'clock to be done. Even with that many classes, we manage, so we have Crown Vics, which is very entertaining. Me and my nephew own 11 of them ourselves, and we rent those out. So for $200 and a crash clause fee, you can come out and race, get your experience, run a heat race and a feature in a Crown Vic.
Wait a minute.
And it's exciting.
Hold on.
Yeah. Peaking interest.
You've piqued a little interest here. So $200, and what was the thing? The
Crash clause.
Crash clause. What?
Crash clause.
What
So
is that?
What that is basically it's like you're putting up $500. So if you destroy something, you got to pay for it, and mainly it's and it's not like, well, you just lose 500 if you crash. I mean, crashes happen, dents and dings. We're not worried about that. But yeah, a couple weeks races back, we had some guys come out and they just drove like idiots and get in the wall, bend an axle. Well, you're going to bend an axle, it's going to cost you $150 because that's what it cost me. So real quick, if you go out there and just tear them up, I'm losing lots of money, right? Repairing them at only a $200 cost. The expectation is you go out there and drive within your means and race. It isn't a go-kart track where you're having fun, tearing stuff up, running at each other, acting a fool. It's actually racing, and you can go out there and race clean. We get it. Some people, you're going to overdrive every now and then, do something, no big deal. But it's mainly to try to keep people from just coming out and tearing them up intentionally.
It's not a demo derby.
Now, are these basically stock Crown Vics?
Yeah, they have a basically stock roll cage in them, racing seat, 5-point harness. They're somewhat gutted, obviously, because of the roll cage. 4 of them have some tune on them. With the removing the catalytic converter and doing some other stuff, you got to start tuning the computer a little bit so they'll run properly. A couple of them are stock. A couple of them are beat up and old and still run damn fast.
Do you have any police cars?
Well, yeah. They don't look like police cars, but they're old police cars.
Yeah, are they black and white?
No, not no more. We're actually got one we're converting to a black and white, and then we're going to do one as a fire car. So we're going to paint it red. So we're going to theme them up a little bit for people to enjoy and get something out of it, something different. But
So it's pretty cool. So for $200, I can come out and say, I want to try my hand at being a race car driver.
yeah, so for $200, you can basically come out and I have helmets and suits, different sizes to fit different people, and we suit you up, helmet you on, and you get in a race car and you run a hot lap session. So you practice.
You talk about
run a heat feature.
You talk about a birthday present or a Father's Day present or even a Christmas present.
Or a death wish.
Or death wish, that's it. Well, it sounds like lots of fun. So
It does.
what is it, $20 to get in and $1 hot dogs and $1 beer?
Yes, sir. $20 to get in, $1 hot dog, $1 beer. I believe it's $15 for senior and military.
Oh well,
Old
so
guys
I've already
like
got the 15 nailed. I got
But you
that
could use the
down.
other 5 for the dollar
I'm
dog.
thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that I'm going to need a couple of tickets, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to help me out in that regard.
I'm sure we can figure that out just fine.
Okay, very good. Well, so that's next Saturday night, 7:00, Houston Motorsports Park. Big race that features the Elite 410 sprint cars,
Massive.
wingless sprint
Yep.
cars. That sounds great. Owen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you, and best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you next Saturday night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, come out. If you come a little early, we can fit you up in a Crown Vic free of charge. That way you can come back and tell your audience how much fun.
Oh, yeah.
No,
That could be an
I'm not
episode.
going to push my luck on that one, but thank you for the offer.
What time do you want him to be there?
5 o'clock. For
About
driving.
5 o'clock will be perfect.
Yeah,
5 o'clock,
I got
we
it.
can get him suited and helmeted up.
Owen, God bless. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
gonna
be
be
fun
good.
to do.
All right, coming up, we got the Cruise In and Events calendars, and I'll have a couple stories making automotive news this week. Stay with the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We are back right after this quick break. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In-Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In-Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In-Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. Hey, be sure and join us for our live show. It airs Saturdays 10 to noon on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Thanks for joining us today. Time now for the Cruise In and Events calendars.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
I got
Jeffrey's got that.
I got that right here. Well, because it's a holiday week next week, 4th of July, Friday, from 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Valley Ranch in New Caney. It's an event that they have there. It's an open cruise, free entry, so no worries about that. Lots of stuff to do. So it's in the Valley Ranch Boulevard in New Caney, Texas. 77357 is the zip. Then Saturday, July 5th, you got the Home Depot Clear Lake Shores I'll say race. Cruise is the Kima Car Show in the Home Depot parking lot. It's at 507 FM 2094 in Clear Lake Shores. Successful. It's every Saturday evening. Parking lot. Chick-fil-A's there. All that good stuff. So get yourself some grub. All car clubs are welcome to go on in there and just enjoy. And then again on Saturday, July 5th from 6 to 9, it's the Montgomery, Texas Cruise-In, 943 Eva Street in Montgomery. It's every Saturday night between 6 and 9 behind the McDonald's. And the Brookshire Brothers. Go out there and buy yourself a suit. And then next Tuesday, this is a little bit different. You've got the Ay Chihuahua Mexican Cafe. It's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's at 403 Singing Oak in Spring Branch. Go on out there and enjoy some Chihuahua. There you go.
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
They're not cooking it up or
No.
nothing?
No.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. That it?
Yep.
All right. First customer for Cadillac's ultra-luxury Celestique electric sedan has received the keys. No details released about the owner of VIN 001. But Cadillac said the buyer took delivery June 23rd at a private event at General Motors Global Technical Center in Warren, Michigan, north of Detroit. That's where it's being built. It's a milestone long in the making for Cadillac, which first revealed details about the hand-built Celestique in the summer of 2022, starting at around $340,000.
Probably Hendrix
The Celestique is commissioned and designed to individual buyers' preferences, working one-on-one with the concierge. No two Celestiques will be alike. It produces 655 horsepower, 646 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 acceleration of 3.7 seconds with Velocity Max mode engaged. Cadillac estimates the Celestique range of 303 miles. Production will be limited to just 25, with the allotment nearly fulfilled before the brand begins the 26 model output. Fewer than 2 Celestiques are built per day. Hand-built Cadillacs.
Yeah.
How long do you think that's going to last?
Not very.
I don't think so either. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why they're spending that kind of money. Okay, I got a Halo car. I understand Halo cars, but wow, $340,000. It's going to kind of limit their sales, don't you think?
Yeah. Good demographic, yeah.
And both young and high-income car buyers want to purchase a vehicle sooner to avoid potential tariff price hikes, according to a new report from Jerry, a car insurance saving app. Jerry surveyed 1,000 people in April using Pollfish. Okay.
No idea.
All of those surveyed owned or lease a vehicle, drive at least once per week, and pay for car insurance. Of the Generation Z respondents planning to buy a vehicle this year, more than half said they will buy sooner than planned because of tariffs. A similar percentage of respondents making over $100,000 a year said the very same thing. About 26% of all those planning to buy a vehicle this year now are waiting to see how prices change in the coming months. Yeah, I bet they do. And a ship that caught fire in the Pacific Ocean earlier this month is sunk. Vessel was abandoned in the middle of the Pacific, about 360 miles from land after a blaze. It was carrying about 3,000 vehicles, of which about 800 were EVs. Damage caused by the fire was compounded by heavy weather, causing the ship to take on water and ultimately sink on June 23rd. Smoke was initially seen emanating from a deck carrying electric vehicles. Yeah. The vessel was carrying cars from a range of manufacturers, including Chery Automobile Company and Great Wall Motor Company, obviously from China, to Mexico. Yikes. I got to see that, what was it called? Poop Deck or whatever it was called, the movie, the documentary. Did you see that?
No. You talked about it.
Yeah, and it...
Quite nasty.
It was quite nasty. That was a boat, a Carnival cruise that left Galveston, went down to Progreso, Mexico, and Cozumel.
I don't think they need to hear this story. I really don't. It's pretty bad.
Well, you probably remember it because it made the news. And it lost power in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico at the time. Now it's Gulf of America. And they had to tow it back to Mobile, Alabama. Took them 8 days, and it was an absolute mess, as you can imagine.
I thought you were going to go into details, so that's why I said that.
No, I can avoid that.
I had to stop you.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after this. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features, including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. And welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, noted author, car aficionado, and our go-to therapist, Jack Nerad, joins us. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Alfa Stelvio. And Jeff has the Motor Minute in this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. David Ainsley's packing, getting ready for his big trip to the Uper. That's the UP of Michigan for his 3-week extravaganza, and he'll be back with us when he gets back. All right. I'm Don Armstrong, by the way, and thanks so much for joining us. Now
We're both pointing at you.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not exactly sure why. That's a scary
He
thought.
did it.
Because you're Don Armstrong.
He did it.
I am. It's all my
Blame it
fault.
on
The
him.
Don Armstrong.
Yeah.
Let's go out to the West Coast,
All
shall
right.
we? Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, live from the Los Angeles, California area of the West Coast. The left coast, as some folks like to call it, is Jack Nerad. Jack, it's a pleasure, honor to see you again.
It
Thank
is such
you.
a pleasure to be with you guys.
Well,
I really do appreciate it.
How are things out there in CA?
Interesting. It's an
Always.
interesting place to live.
Yeah, it never fails to amaze me. I mean, the governor makes more news than the news.
Yeah, well, he's running for president, so he.
That's true.
wants
He's
to
got
get
to
a
be
lot of
out there.
attention.
Has he officially announced that?
No.
Yeah, he
But,
did 12
it's-
years
it's
ago.
pretty obvious that he thinks he's the guy. So.
Yeah.
And he's doing what he can to get attention, and he's getting a lot of attention. Whether, you know how kids are, they like attention, whether it's good attention or bad attention.
Yeah.
I see some of that from Governor Newsom.
That's like one of those kids that goes bonkers in the grocery store, and you just walk away and leave them lying down on the floor, kicking and screaming and making a big deal out of everything.
Yeah, and they stop.
And then they
I
stop.
don't think he's going to stop, though. I'm not
Yeah.
sure that he's going to stop.
Well, Jack, it's always a pleasure to talk to you and get the latest. We just read the story about the Cadillac Celestiq. Have you driven one of those yet?
I haven't driven one, but my reaction is largely like your reaction. In fact, my reaction about a lot of the Cadillac electrics is the same. And I would think that in Southern California here, where there's a lot of affluent people, I wish I were one of them, we would see a lot more Cadillacs and electric Cadillacs in particular. And I see none. There's virtually none being driven.
Well, it's overridden with Teslas out there.
Yeah, and of course Tesla had its little thing with Musk joining the Trump administration. Suddenly that became on the outs for a lot of people. So I guess they didn't quite know what to do with themselves, and they couldn't all offload their Teslas right away. I think maybe that's calmed down some now, but Tesla did certainly take a hit in sales during that period of time.
Yeah, to their bottom line and the value of the company, everything.
Yeah.
So have you driven anything really fun, exciting here lately?
I have. In fact, one of the vehicles, and maybe you'll laugh at this or maybe you won't, is the Volvo XC60 Polestar Engineered Edition.
Oh.
And it is kind of a sleeper car in that it has 455 horsepower, I think something like over 500 pound-feet of torque. It's a little hot rod, but it's a crossover. It is probably among the most complicated consumer vehicles ever put out there, because it's got turbocharging, supercharging, mild hybrid. It's anything you could put under the hood, it's in there.
Well,
I'm not sure that I really want to own one, but it's really cool to drive.
Well, I know that Mr. Mars recently drove a Volvo, and he wanted to shoot it. I think after he
And he's back driving a Volvo as of yesterday.
is it the same one?
Came back from the shop.
Did you get more ammo?
Yes, I did. I had time to stock up.
Yeah. Well, I think that the problem is that the range pretty much killed it over his enjoyment of the Volvo.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to add an hour and a half to my trip over here if I drive it here, because it will
Wow.
not go from here to there.
What are you driving? What is
It's the
which one?
Volvo. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I kind of wiped it from my mind.
EX30 or EX90 or it's obviously it seems like an electric, right?
It is the EV, yes. And I don't even remember. I got it late back from the shop late yesterday afternoon. They dropped it off. I parked it in the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it can't make it over here from
Where it might sit for a while,
He
you know.
drives about 90 miles,
It's 112 miles door to door.
112 miles, and the car will not make 112 miles on one full electric charge.
Well, it'll make it over here, but I got to allow an hour, whatever time it takes, because I get about 80% on average. If it says it'll do 100, I can get about 80 miles out of it. So I'd have to find someplace close to charge it to try and get back home.
And I'm sure that you've dealt with that, and not
I
so.
have actually. My daughter went to school. She just graduated. Actually, my youngest daughter just graduated from Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, which is exactly 200 miles from my house. And so we would go up there. Frequently, we'd go up there just for the day, drive up early in the morning, come back at night, avoiding Southern California and Central California traffic. And I always had the opportunity to drive an electric, but I passed on it for exactly what Michael's talking about. Is like, what do I do when I'm there? And time is really precious. I don't have an hour to charge a car at one end of this or the other. It wouldn't work. So a vehicle with 200 miles of range and 250 miles of range, you're really on the edge just getting one way, and then you have to charge, and you're at the mercy of public charging, which is pretty iffy.
Well, like Don drives one. He's got a place that when he drives it to work,
I charge it all day.
He's charged it all day. Well, I'm here 3 hours. And his 110 charging system on 3 hours doesn't do a whole
Yeah.
lot.
You're getting like 5 miles of added range.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
So,
and I
anyway.
think that's kind of pointing out a larger question here. I'm wondering if we're at peak EV, that we're not going to see many people. I really have to wonder who is about to buy an EV right now. I guess right now is better than 2 months or 3 months from now when there are no tax incentives to buy them too. But certainly once the tax incentives are gone, what's the impetus to buy an electric vehicle then? I'm curious what you guys think about that.
Well, I think that they'll still sell some, but I think it's going to be those folks that have kind of more disposable income than most, in the fact that they've either got a stay-at-home mom raising kids, goes back and forth to school with the kids, or the grocery store or church, that sort of stuff, keeps it local, never tries to venture out of town with that, and I guess they uses the husband's or whoever's regular gasoline-powered car.
And what you described, Don, you don't need 300 miles of range to do that.
That's correct.
You could get by with 150 miles of range, and that would make the car a lot less expensive.
And that's where the plug-in hybrid would really come in, because it's not near as expensive, and you'd get 150 miles on a charge, and you're good to go.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
if you want to make that 200-mile trip or 300-mile trip because of the hybrid, you can do that. I mean, that's my wife's pushback on it, because I told her the same thing. You don't go more than 10 miles from the house 2 or 3 times a day. So charging, I mean, you could charge it up an EV and keep it going and not use any gas or get pretty close to it. But she said, what if I want to go to the mall that's 30 miles away?
Jack, how much is gas out there on average today?
It's about $4.50 a gallon, I think, for regular right now.
Holy cow.
It's come down some. It was well over $5. And I'm kind of surprised it's come down a little. I think it's going to go back up. I think it'll be well over $5. And, the way things are going, they haven't built a refinery here in 50 years. You can't get permits to build a refinery. That's part of the problem. We have special gas regulations too. Our gas is somewhat different, especially I think in the winter, than it is across the country. So, we're kind of stuck in a
Well, that's
bad
all right.
situation here that's probably going to get worse.
You can keep importing from Texas and keep us employed over here.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the issue too, is transporting the gas, and again, it's not the same spec gas, which is kind of weird, but really true. I think we have a winter blend that is different. It's illegal to sell, 49 state gas in California at some time of the year.
We have that as well. They have a different blend here in the wintertime than they do in the summertime. Gas here, I think I paid $2.70 this week for a gallon of gasoline.
$2.58.
And I'm not trying to rub it in,
yeah.
just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
We're trying to get you to move here.
Yeah, well, we're getting close. In fact, my wife is in Dallas right now. My middle daughter just bought a house in Fort Worth, and
Well, you got to
there's a lot
start
of
somewhere.
There's a lot of Texas in the Nerad family.
Well,
right
a couple of weeks ago, we took a little trip up to Granbury, Texas. Have you ever heard of that?
I have. I've been there. It's very
very nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, and it's just south of Fort Worth. So I'm thinking the NERAD compound is going to be there in Granbury, and if you need to get a press car, no big deal. Just come on down to
Well, I'll tell you, 4th of July weekend, we're going to be at Cedar Creek Lake, which is south of Dallas, about an hour or so, and we're going to spend a week there.
It's another nice place.
Yeah.
A lot of Texas connections with us.
What do you think about car shows, Jack? Are we going to continue to have new car shows, or are they going to go away?
It's a big question. I think the car companies are cutting off their nose to spite their face by not attending car shows or not supporting car shows. I just interviewed, and we'll have the interview on America on the Road in the next couple of weeks here. The kind of the founder of Electrify Expo, which is electric car shows across the country. But he calls them kind of the anti-car show. Because they're very experiential. You can drive the cars. The most recent one in Los Angeles was outdoors and kind of more like a festival than a traditional car show of cars on carpet. But I love car shows. I think auto shows are terrific, and I think there's still a place for them. But if manufacturers don't support them, it's very difficult to see them going on.
They got in such a habit, like excuse me, particularly up in the Detroit and Chicago show. I mean, you're talking about vehicles coming down from the ceiling or rising up from below the stage. I mean, you're talking about some expensive stuff that was all show, but it didn't help the consumers that wanted to come. The ticket buyers that came in for the week that the show was open.
And they didn't even see them. I mean, a lot of those media events were closed to the public, and 20 minutes of would cost the manufacturer $1 million or $2 million to produce. I mean, they were big shows, absolutely.
And they were
I don't know how
impressive,
effective they were.
Well, the Houston show still gets very good traffic and very good numbers for the 5 days that it's open. But, that's not the case in other cities. For instance, Detroit has really been handed the backhand of a lot of folks.
They shot themselves in the foot.
And they shot themselves in the foot, didn't have a venue, and then they moved it to the middle of the summer outdoors, and just one thing after another. And I know that they're trying to do something different and bring people in, but if people don't attend, well, I guess that's the end of that. But
and I think they're putting it back in the wintertime.
Yes. Right.
Wintertime's a great time in the upper Midwest to have an auto show, because what are you going to do?
It's like bowling,
it's
Jack.
It's terrible outside.
Yeah,
exactly.
Go to an auto show.
Yeah,
right?
it's like bowling. Let's go inside and have some fun.
Well, I think
exactly.
the downturn or the lack of participation is how they promote it. I mean, we've got Rochelle Salinas that does the work here for the Houston Auto Show. I don't know the caliber of the folks that do the California or the Detroit, but it seems like they need a little bit more effort. I did a thing on this not very long ago on the decline of the auto shows and the hot rod shows and things. So I think it's the people that organize it and
I think that's
running.
part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's money, because we never did have the big cars coming in from the ceiling type thing. It's all been more geared toward the spectator or the ticket buyer.
Right, and in Houston, it's the automotive show, so you're combining the boat folks with the car folks, trailers, all that stuff. So it works out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to the LA Auto Show people, and they do a good job. They still get good consumer attendance, but they don't have many luxury manufacturers participating, and I think that's a big problem. And it's a big problem in Southern California, where you would think, this is a big luxury market. This might be the biggest luxury market in the world, and they're just not reaching those folks.
Do they think that the luxury buyer doesn't go to car shows?
I think that's what they think, or they think there's other ways they can reach them. They want to be more specialized than. But what they're missing is the aspirational people, the people who aren't necessarily luxury buyers now, but are going to be luxury buyers as they age and get more affluent.
Good point.
Just wait till I win the lottery, man. I'm going to buy one of those luxury
Exactly.
cars.
I know. I mean, we undoubtedly all went to car shows when we were teenagers, and everything was aspirational, right? It's like, man, I wish I had one of those things. But
yeah,
they're missing that.
Yeah.
absolutely.
We did a story earlier. Our story of the week this week was about all of the things that manufacturers are slapping on cars these days. Auto Week had a special on it, and so we kind of talked about that and the fact that, self-driving aspects of the cars, self-braking, all this automotive stuff, and it seems that it's not really resonating with the buyers, and they don't want it because it costs too much money, and it really, I know for me, the lane keeping assist. What an annoying, absolute annoying feature
terribly annoying.
to fight the car to go keep it in the damn lane. And I think, no, I don't want that. And I tell everybody, don't buy it. You're going to drive yourself insane with this thing. The other thing is that I drove a car here recently that the infotainment system was very confusing. And in today's day and age, how long have we had infotainment systems now? For over a decade? And you'd think
probably 20 years. Yeah,
and you would think that they'd have gotten it down. Some manufacturers have gotten it down. It's easy to use and understand and all that. But some make it so difficult. Who designs these things? Yeah. And I think it's a real turnoff for somebody that is really computer savvy, especially, to get into a car, and you've got to spend 10 minutes trying to find how to change the radio station.
Yeah, it's a giant turnoff, and I mean, it's quantified. We just reported on our show about the J.D. Power initial quality study, and the biggest problems are infotainment systems, exactly what you've identified. I mean, and they're not getting better. More stuff is going into the touch screens. I don't know about you. I'd much rather have a button or knob to grab when I'm driving that I don't even have to look at. I can just reach over and I know.
Yep.
I got into a vehicle the other day and it had a on-off and volume knob on the radio and then a tuning knob on the other side, just like a 65 Chevy. And it was a boon. It was like, wow, I haven't seen this in a long time, but it really works well.
Yeah, and the studies keep pointing in that direction, saying, hey, look, this is what resonates with buyers. Do this, but the manufacturers are slow on the uptick. And I think that it really hurts them when it comes down to sales.
Well, it's the millennials designing it, too.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jack, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. And so the summer plans, you've already got them in place? You're looking forward to any big car stuff that you're going to be doing?
We're going to do a Made in America tour. America on the Road, our radio show, is going to do a Made in America tour where my wife and I are going to take an American-made vehicle, and we're going to drive the upper Midwest and go to ballparks and national parks. So we're going to go to Milwaukee, Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. We're going to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We're going to do a lot of that stuff. So that's going to happen late July and into August. And
how fun. Excited.
That's neat.
Yeah. Well, and we also understand that book sales are picking up.
Yeah. My newest book is Only One Thing Stays the Same. It's a crime novel. Actually, the protagonist is kind of a car guy. He's got a 69 Barracuda.
Imagine that.
It's his car of choice, but it's about crime, and he gets involved in some things he probably shouldn't get involved in.
Sounds like us.
So, Jack, do you get any input on your book covers, or do you have somebody completely?
Yeah, I actually help design them, or I give a lot of input on the cover. So
I like them.
Thank you. Thank you. I like them too. I think.
And we like you too, Jack. It's great to talk to you always, my friend. Take care of yourself. Be safe this summer, and we'll talk to you next month, Hope.
I can't wait to talk to you guys again.
All right, Jack.
Be safe.
Take care, my
You
friend.
bet.
All right. Just ahead, a review of the 2025 Alfa Romeo Stelvio and Jeff's Motor Minute
Oh, yeah.
after this quick break on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. Well, the summer heat has us hiding inside the Sugar Shack studios for a while, so we invite you to join us for the live In Wheel Time show every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time on InWheelTime.com, YouTube, and Facebook. Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Yeah, how about that? NASCAR suffering from viewership on their Amazon Prime Video. Yeah, they're down 21%. They've got a contract through 2031 for $8.8 billion. Now, I'm going to read these. These are some comments from some actual fans, race car fans. I'm going to read it like Casey Kasem, of course. This comes from Rick Jabo. It's usually hard to know what channel the NASCAR race is on this week. They do a terrible job promoting the sport. And now, for the Coke 600 on Memorial Day tradition, they put it on Prime TV only. How out of touch can you possibly be? Thanks, Rick. This one comes from Jim. Been a NASCAR fan for 40 years. Now it's more important to switch to Prime TV and make more money. I'm done. I will not pay for Prime TV to watch the races. In another 10 years, NASCAR will have zero fans. The younger generations are just not interested, and the older ones won't pay. Thanks, Jim. A little bit of anger management there. And then this one's going to sum it up. This comes from Chris. You disgraceful bleep word. This race puts on the best military support presentation. They deprive all of us of that. As a proud American, you guys are an embarrassment. At least I don't have to watch one big, long Toyota commercial. Goodbye in all languages. Chris has some anger management.
In other words, you suck.
Yeah, so it goes on and on. You can pull these up, and
oh my God,
NASCAR is losing viewership because of the Prime and all that good stuff.
Well,
so there you go.
NHRA, as you know,
Pretty
it's
much.
been a lifelong thing of mine to always follow drag racing. I don't follow it anymore
No.
because you know what? I can't find it on TV, and I'll be damned if I'm going to pay with commercials.
Yeah.
You're making the money off of the commercials. Let me see it for free. Oh, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
We're going to try to rob you as well.
Well,
No.
they promote it as a new episode, new broadcast, and it's from like 2 days ago.
Yeah, no,
and you already know the results.
I'm not playing that
No,
game.
not doing it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
I ain't gonna do it.
All right. Time now for this hour's car review. Jeff and I had the opportunity to ride and or drive the 2025 Alfa Stelvio. Final assembly location is Casino, Italy. I like it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of appropriate, don't you agree?
Oh,
So it comes in these trim levels: base, Intensa, and Tributo Italiano.
forget about it.
Forget about it. I had the Veloce package. It was the
This
base
could be
with the
good.
Veloce
It's gonna be
package.
good.
Well, you know my Italian isn't really all
Yeah,
that
it's
good.
not up to speed.
No. It is a small SUV, 5 seats in it. Exterior changes, well, it was all new in 2018, so it's getting a little long in the tooth. But this is a fun, sporty ride. Matter of fact, I saw one pass down the street.
Really?
Yeah, the other day. Sharp looking, unique, and attractive overall design with a triangular grille. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, a triangular grille? Ooh, no, it works. A smooth rear sunshade over the hatch glass. Wheels, 5 rounded hoops for the spokes. It's kind of weird, but it works. Green, white, red Italy tribute on the side view mirrors. It's a little bitty thing, but it's fun.
Yep.
What I liked about it is its uniqueness. And I, speaking of unique, had the green paint called Verde Fangio. And it got, believe this,
He put some ointment on it and it went away.
let me tell you this. I got more damn comments, positive comments. Hey, man, I really like the color of that car. And when I first got it, I thought, no, that doesn't do it for me. But everybody liked it. I'm not a big green car fan because that goes back to racing superstitions and all that. But at any rate, yeah, Verde Fangio. Interior. Highly detailed design on the interior. HVAC in its own pod below the center vent. 2-pod instrument cluster with a smallish infotainment screen. But remember, this is from 2018. The start button is on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, but like I said, this is a very unique vehicle, very Italian. Cargo room, small. What I liked about it, the very Italian uniqueness. Mm-hmm. You ain't going to find anything like this. This is one unto itself. I'm actually kind of surprised that they don't sell more of them. This thing is pretty cool. The infotainment functions are confusing, however. My Italian friend schooled me on the thought process, and I still don't understand it. So you have to become a little bit Italian to be able to understand the functions and how it all operates.
Eat a lot of pasta.
2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 280 horsepower, so it's got some juice. Torque, 306 pound-feet of torque, and it can tow up to 3,000 pounds. Mileage, 22 city, 28 highway for combined to 24. I got 25.4 miles per gallon over the 754.7 miles that I drove up to Granbury and back and then back and forth to work. What I liked about it, the sport car-like handling that is built on the Giulia platform, which is a sedan that really is a sporty sedan. The Alfa Romeo thing is sportiness. And it's got that kind of ride and unique handling to it. And you either like it or you don't like it. I like it. I like to be able to go around corners fast. I'm not sure about feeling comfortable about that in a high platform SUV, but apparently it'll do it. How much was it? Well, the base trim price is $48,995. The price as tested, $59,140. The base model price, $48,995. Competitors include the Audi Q5 for $45,400, the Mercedes-Benz GLC for $49,250, and the Acura ADX that I didn't even know about. You know, we don't get too many Acuras to drive.
No, we don't.
Did you know that there was an ADX?
No.
There's the RDX. You're familiar
Right,
with the
yeah.
Okay. This is the Acura ADX, which is a small platform. It competes with the Lexus UX.
So it's small.
$44,000 is what they're getting or asking for the Acura ADX.
Huh.
Yeah, it was a very unique vehicle, and I'd like to thank Kimberly Schultz with Stellantis, who allowed me to drive all those miles in it. You liked it?
I liked the car. The car was very comfortable. The seat positions you could get put anywhere and you get comfortable.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. The infotainment system was a little challenging. We were trying to do some things in the.
Jeff,
trying to do some things on
I'm trying to drive. Would you please do this? Well, let's see. It's on the steering wheel. Well, there you go. I got my hands over here, and he's
and I'm going like this,
digging around on the steering wheel, trying to get things.
And the truck driver going by is looking out the window like,
What the hell are these two men doing in there?
We had 4 hands on the steering wheel trying to figure stuff.
It's crazy.
We made it.
Yeah, we did.
We made it.
Yeah. We were trying to reset the trip odometer.
Right. Right.
And you had to drill down into it to reset the trip odometer.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's some of that more of that stuff where it's getting too complicated.
Yeah.
Well, and also when you get there, you got to know what to do with it. So there was. I broke out the manual. We were reading the manual. In
By the
car.
way, that green paint job was an extra $2,200.
Oh,
Just
boy.
saying. But
that
It
all?
was a nice vehicle. The front grille, you said what would you call that?
Triangle?
Triangle looks like what the Edsel used to be with the horse collar.
and
Sorta,
it's not
kinda.
it's not ugly.
Not
like
as
that.
well. To me, it's kind of. I think of that one.
You're more
I see it.
traditional. You're a Detroit boy.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We'll be back right after this. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. This is your place for all things automotive, the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, IHRA Division Director Doug Foley will talk about drag racing on a different note. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar, Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong, our Chief Engineer David Ainsley, getting ready for his big trip up north.
Big trip.
Yeah, and he's going to be gone for a couple of weeks. Anyway.
Yeah, that's 2 or 3, something like that.
Three, I think.
3, yeah.
3 weeks. So the timing has worked out just fine, I think. We don't have any remote broadcasts coming up, so that's always a good thing for him.
You know what we should do? In like a week, we should fly up there and just knock on his door.
You know, it's not
Hey.
as easy as you think
I know,
it is.
I know.
Yeah.
I know the area.
Yeah. All right. Joining us now, IHRA, which is the International Hot Rod Association, is the division director. His name is Doug Foley. Doug, good morning to you. Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Oh, Doug.
we're muted.
No, he's not muted. We're just not getting his voice here.
Doug, can you say something to us?
How about now?
There you are.
A little better now.
Yeah, well, he's a little bit better now.
All right. How you guys doing?
Well, God, he's kind of gargly, isn't
Yeah,
he? Isn't he,
gargly.
Mr. Mars?
Yeah, his internet. If he moves the wrong place, his internet drops.
Yeah, your internet sucks. So we're gonna put you on hold for a minute. You and Mars are gonna work out this so we could hear every stinking word you got to say. So you just hang in there, Mr. Mars will lead you through what we need to go through.
Oh, Lord. You sure you want him to do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure about
All right.
that. So I will give you this. IHRA, they were a force back in the day, and they were the competitor to NHRA. And different rules, different regulations, different sanctioned racetracks.
Different cars.
Well, they were.
Yeah.
Yes. Because of the different rules, the car builders built cars to the IHRA rules as opposed to the NHRA rules. So there was this kind of a divide there. It was founded in 1971 by Larry Carrier, has since become a prominent organization for grassroots drag racing, including the IHRA Summit Super Series, a prominent bracket racing championship. In recent years, IHRA has seen ownership changes and a renewed focus on its core values of integrity and passion for the sport. And so I told you that we're talking about Larry Carrier started it in '71, and the events are different and at different racetracks. It started at Carrier's Bristol International Speedway Dragway. It says here, IHRA sanctions races across North America with a particularly strong presence in Canada, where it holds 3 national drag racing events, according to Wikipedia. Now, that'd be a fun road trip.
Yeah.
Go to Canada. Grassroots focus, IHRA has found success as a hub for grassroots drag racing with its Summit Super Series, being a notable example of its commitment to bracket racing. In recent years, IHRA has undergone ownership changes. Daryl Cattell becoming the new owner. The organization has also seen a renewed focus on free speech, equal opportunities, and a fact-based approach, reflected in its return to the X social media platform, says X.com.
I think Doug's got his internet connection hooked up right, or better.
Yeah?
So I think we're good to go.
Well, I
here.
think that we'll be the judge of that.
He's smiling, so I know he can hear us.
Say something good, Doug.
How about now? How's this?
Oh, my
yeah.
God. You plugged it from the TV remote into the actual internet.
Listen, technology sometimes is difficult.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not my friend very often.
Yeah, it eludes some of us, and we believe me, we can understand. We can
Welcome,
relate.
Doug. Welcome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, so-
I've been able to hear you the whole time. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that because, I remember when IHRA come into existence, and NHRA was really scared because they thought, oh, gosh, what are we going to do? We've got some competition here. Well, good. Competition is good. And, I guess what divided the two, you correct me if I'm wrong, were the different rules for the different categories of cars. Because not all of the rules from one series transferred to the other. And if you wanted to race in both series, generally speaking, if you had the money, you had 2 cars because some of the changes that you had to make to the cars were significant back in the day.
Yeah, I think that played a part in some of it, but the IHRA is usually ran between 8 and 12 national event races, so that plays a big part in it too. Especially on the professional side. These guys that run 20 races, they're spending $3 or $4 million a year when you can come over to the IHRA, and we have this year we have 5 national events, and you cut that budget in half, if not more. So it's a little more racer friendly. It's a little bit we're geared a little more towards the working folk than just the guys that own billion-dollar corporations that can afford to come out and realistically outspend everybody else, right?
What are the top 10, top 8, however many you want to put together there, classes of cars do you have? You got nitro cars?
Oh yeah, so we'll have Top Fuel Funny Car, which we opened up our pre-entry a week ago or so, and so we have 8 car fields in both of our nitro categories, and we have more than 8 entered in each class, so we'll have full fields. We have Pro Mod, Mountain Motor Pro Stock, Pro Nitrous, Top Alcohol Dragster, Top Alcohol Funny Car. So that's probably our upper echelon of our faster cars.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So
course.
do you kind of intermingle with the NHRA? Because I know that they do run pro mods and things, and you can see a telecast on some of their events, but not as a feature. So do you kind of intermingle with that other events?
We don't really have anything to do with we don't have anything to do with NHRA, but the cars and the classes and the rules, they're all similar enough to where you can come over and race either sanctioning body and still not have to spend a fortune to be able to do so.
Well, one of the categories, new categories for NHRA is the mountain motor category. And, I heard you say that you've got that at IHRA as well. What is mountain motor? What exactly is that?
Oh, mountain motors are they're just big cubic inch pro stock cars, so they're still allowed to have carburetors. They have the hood scoops, but they have big motors, big horsepower, and they're going 620s at 200 and almost 30 miles an hour. So they're a little different than the 500 cubic inch pro stock cars that everybody's kind of used to seeing. But Mountain Motor Pro Stock is it was born and bred here at IHRA, so it's a class that's near and dear to us. And the interest level that we have for this class right now is surpassed our expectations coming into this year. So we're really looking forward to having those guys back.
How did you get involved with IHRA?
Well, so I grew up. My dad races Top Fuel, and he started in IHRA back in 2003. He won the Rookie of the Year back then in Top Fuel, and then he obviously has kept racing the last 20-something years. And when Larry Jeffers bought the IHRA a few years ago, he gave me a call and wanted to see if I had any interest in coming on board and helping out. And then, at the end of 24, Larry Jeffers sold it to Daryl Cuttle, and we've been rolling right along. I mean, we bought. I think IHRA owns 5 racetracks now. I'm actually at one right now. We have our Night of Fire event here at National Trail Raceway in Columbus, Ohio. So
when you say
if you hear burnouts in the background, that's why.
that's great. But when you say you bought the organization bought the track, you didn't just buy rights to it. I mean, you physically own the property.
Yeah, we physically own the property.
Well, NHRA's got several tracks like that as well.
Oh, do they?
So it's a full quarter mile, right?
Yeah, National Trail's a full
1320.
quarter-mile facility. We also own Galot Motorsports Park down in Dunn, North Carolina. We own Killcare Raceway, Xenia, Ohio, Milan Dragway, which is in Milan, Michigan.
Milan, Michigan, yep.
Yep. So we got quite a few tracks that have been purchased. We got quite a few more that are on the docket to close here.
You said you've got eight drivers or 8 cars in a class. Do they follow you around the country, or is it just 8 for this particular event, and then you've got 8 more for another part of the country?
No. So there's cars that are going to race full time with us. The Nitro cars that have committed to full time racing with the IHRA this year is Scott Palmer, Dale Creasy Jr., Jack Wyatt, Terry Haddock is coming to most of them. So we have a good. We didn't start this deal really till beginning of May, end of April, beginning of May for this year. So obviously there's been a lot of talk about it, but going out and actually doing it now, we're 2 weeks away from crowning champions at our first event.
Cool.
Since the IHRA has been bought and rebranded. The IHRA hasn't had a Top Fuel car race in over 15 years.
Wow.
So,
Well, now you got a full field of cars.
we have a full field of cars. There's a lot of excitement. A Top Fuel funny car that pays $50,000 to win. It pays $15,000 just to qualify. So,
Well, your dad, he used to race at NHRA?
yeah, he's actually he's at Norwalk this weekend. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, but he'll be down here. He's bringing his car out. He's got a few sponsors right here in Columbus with United Garage Door and Alloy Employer Services. So this will be a big race for him, being able to get all of his guests out here and check out the drag races.
So you've been going to drag races since you were born.
Yeah, just about. That's right.
Well, obviously it's worked out for you. You're a division director. Which division are you running?
So I run Division 1 and 9, basically up and down the East Coast.
Yeah. And it's a full-time gig for you.
Full time as it gets.
Do you still have a full head of hair?
So far, but it's turning gray.
Turning
quickly.
grayer, and yeah, I was going to say there's big chunks missing from pulling your hair
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, you know what the next step is after that?
What's that?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Exactly. Well,
I kind of like the idea of the 8-car field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, things are going to move pretty quick when you go to the track, and you're not going to be sitting there for 3 hours trying to get 16 cars through because one of them blew up or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, and part of it is obviously the group we have here at IHRA, we're all racers. So, Josh Peak is here, Larry Morgan.
The
and
old Larry
myself.
Morgan?
Yeah,
He's smiling.
Larry Morgan. I don't know where you want to go with that. He's one of a kind. He's done it his whole life, and we're really glad he's part of this. He was actually he's instrumental in this operation. So having all of these racers here, we kind of can pick and choose, what we want to adopt and what we don't want to adopt. And our shows are 2-day shows, Friday and Saturday. You got 2 qualifying runs Friday and then eliminations on Saturday. So that's one of the big things with the nitro teams is, you get 4 qualifying runs and it's a 16-car field. So you have to make 8 runs to win $50,000. Over here at IHRA, our winner's purse is $50,000, but you only have to make 5 runs to get there. So
are the rules for IHRA, are they pretty much the same as NHRA? I mean, I'm sure you got to have all the safety effects in place.
All the safety, yeah. Okay. All the rules basically are the same. I think we're trying to make it a little more racer friendly with being able to open up a few different options. There's a lot of top fuel cars in this country, and in the between the states and Canada, there's a lot of nitro cars that some of them just. There are some rules that I don't feel that are that necessary, that these teams had to park their cars because they couldn't afford to do those updates to their cars or ignition boxes or, whatever the rules are, whatever that particular rule is. It gets expensive quick. A lot of fans don't know that these top fuel cars, they have to send out their valve covers every year to get recertified. Their bell housings every year to get recertified. The blower restraint bags. I mean, the list goes on and on. And just to do that, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. So, if we could, not that we're eliminating that, but that was just a, kind of
an example. Right. Sure. Yeah.
Insight.
Let me ask you a little bit about the insurance aspect of it. That you guys apparently provide significant insurance coverage for your members. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, our insurance is next level compared to, and it's not even just drag racing. I mean, any racing sanctioning body, we have surpassed all of them. So we have $1 million worth of liability insurance for each racer. So if you aren't we have accidental death dismemberment insurance. We have, if you get hurt at the racetrack, you can get paid up to 26 weeks or something like that for workers' comp. Like we're trying to make it to where we're not trying to copy anybody else. We want to set out and do our own thing and make the racers kind of see what we can. We want to do whatever we can to make it better for everybody and not just do the same old song and dance.
Gotcha.
So when is your big event at the end of the season? Where is that? When is it?
So our World Finals will be at Galat Motorsports Park, which is Dunn, North Carolina, and that's November 5th through the 8th. But our first one, our season opener, kicks off here, like I said, in just 2 weeks here at National Trail Raceway in Hebron, Ohio, which is just east of Columbus, probably about 30 miles. But that's our first one. It'll be July 9th through the 12th, and you'll be able to see a full slate of top fuel cars, funny cars, all the way through stock, super stock.
I assume that you don't have a big television contract. Can you watch the races online?
Yeah, you will be able to. The races will be live streamed. We haven't announced with who yet, but that'll be coming pretty early this week. So we're looking forward to that, and I think all the fans at home that won't be able to make it out to the races will
be online watching.
Appreciate it as well.
Just as long as it's not on Prime.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
so
not
is it IHRA.com, Doug? Is it IHRA.com?
Yep, IHRA.com. You can go on there and look at the schedule, buy your tickets, and then on our Facebook page, we've been releasing some of the drivers' names that have entered for our events. So, like I said, Scott Palmer, he's entered. Krista Baldwin's coming. Dale Creasy, Jack Wyatt, Terry Haddock,
Doug Foley.
Doug Foley's going to be here too. So there's a lot of really good cars. We're really looking forward to.
Well, Doug, it's great to talk to you, and the best of luck to you. And let's stay in touch. You got something new to tell us? Hey, we'll put you on the air and you can tell everybody.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I appreciate your time, and thanks for having me on.
Have a
betcha.
good season.
Thank you.
Yeah,
bet.
best of luck. Doug Foley, Division Director, IHRA. Just ahead, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll bring you the week's auto news headlines, all coming up on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Stay with us. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. You be jonesing?
I'd be jonesing, man. I'd be jonesing. Every time that commercial comes on, I said, you know what? I should be jonesing.
You should be jonesing.
Yeah, I should
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. You're invited to join our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central on InWheelTime.com, Facebook, and YouTube. We hope you check us out from our home base here at the Sugar Shack Studios. If you miss us, you'll be able to catch all the action on your favorite podcast channel. Time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Yeah, it's a holiday weekend coming up next weekend, so we've got some stuff cooking. IMSA is actually off this week. They'll be back in a couple of weeks, so check that out. They're going to be at Motorsports Park. Xfinity Series, yesterday the Xfinity ran in Atlanta. I didn't get any details and really didn't have an opportunity to watch it because I was doing other things last evening.
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, the 27th. And then NASCAR, Saturday today, they're in Atlanta. NHRA, 26th through the 29th, which is happening right now. The Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals, and that's at Equipment Motorsports Park is what they're calling it. And then Formula One, not till the end of the month, but they're going to be in the Austrian Grand Prix. So check them out if you want.
Bring out your accordion and put on your lederhosen.
Lederhosen and get your stein of beer.
Speaking of lederhosen, Mr. Mars has This Week in Auto History.
Yeah, buddy. Lots of things going on this week in auto history. So starting this week in 1906, it was the first French Grand Prix. Now, this was organized by the Automobile Club de France.
Ooh la la.
And it was the first official motor racing Grand Prix, which set the stage or the precedent for the modern Formula One racing. Now, also this week, coming up in 1956, the last true Packard rolls off the assembly line.
Man, it looked
now, you
good.
say that because it happened at Detroit's Conner Avenue plant. It came off, but there were some Packards that were made and rebadged as Studebakers after that. But this is when the last true Packard came off the line. Also in 1957, Illinois enacted the first U.S. seatbelt law. Now, this became, originally compliance was kind of low. Nobody really kind of cared about it, but they really started pressing on it. And now it's mandated across the whole country. Then, in 1966, the U.S. Senate passes the landmark auto safety bill. Now, if you'll recall back, Ralph Nader, produced in 1965, came out with his book, Unsafe at Any Speed. And this mandated the law, which led to this law, which mandated dashboards, seatbelts, and crash testing, and actually reorganized and revolutionized car safety. Then, in 2001, the first installment of Fast and Furious premiered in U.S. theaters. Now, this is, for some reason, this thing took off about underground street racing, heavily modified cars like the Mazda RX-7 and the Dodge Charger.
I never saw that movie.
You never saw it?
Never saw it. No.
You don't get out much, do you?
No.
Well, it
Not at all.
didn't interest me.
That's the first one. If you're going to watch any of them, that's the one to watch.
I was
Okay,
busy
well.
that day.
Also, in 2001, the last Plymouth rolls off the line. Now, this is Chrysler's long-standing marquee, and it ceased production, and the final model was a silver neon coming off the assembly line. And it marked the end of Chrysler, which started in 1928. This week.
Not the end of Chrysler, the end of Plymouth.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Into
Chrysler.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It says Chrysler consolidated
I
their
thought
marketing
Dodge had the
strategy.
neon. Chrysler had the, was it Dodge? Chrysler
Oh,
neon?
Plymouth
Was it Dodge?
neon.
Plymouth neon, okay.
Yeah.
I was confused because I know that they were small cars.
I live,
Well, we got to blow the dust off of these things, so we can bring them out.
I live confused.
Dazed and confused.
There you go.
Okay, news headlines.
Yesterday after dinner, endazement. Is that a word, endazement?
It is not. Tesla Incorporated self-driving taxi appeared to violate traffic laws during the company's first day offering paid rides, with one customer capturing footage of a left turn gone wrong and others traveling in cars that exceeded posted speed limits. Yeah! National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is aware of those incidents and is in contact with the company to gather additional information. In a video taken by Rob Maurer, an investor who used to host a Tesla podcast, the Model Y he is riding in enters an Austin intersection in a left turn only lane. The Tesla hesitates to make the turn, swerves right, and proceeds into an unoccupied lane meant for traffic moving in the opposite direction.
Nice. Nice.
And it was 14 years old, and you did the math. A honking horn can be heard as the Tesla re-enters the correct lane over a double yellow line, which drivers aren't supposed to cross. In two other posts on X, initial riders in driverless Model Ys shared footage of Tesla speeding. A vehicle carrying Sawyer Merritt, a Tesla investor, reached 35 miles an hour shortly after passing a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. Well, I guess they got a little work to do. Representatives for Tesla and the Austin Police Department didn't immediately respond to requests for comment on the videos. The automaker recalled more than 362,000 vehicles in February of 2023 after NHTSA said its driver assistance system may allow cars to infringe on local traffic laws. A spokesperson for the city of Austin said it didn't receive any safety incident reports regarding Tesla's robo-taxis over the weekend.
It's because people were too scared.
Well, either that or they closed down the particular part of Austin that these things were going around in circles in. I don't know.
So it crosses double stripes, speeding,
All that.
and honking.
And you hear horns from the other people.
Ford Motor is recalling the majority of its salaried workforce back to the office 4 days a week. Employee automaker's latest effort to boost employee and company performance. Spokesperson said the new policy affects the majority of its global salaried workforce, but declined to provide a specific number. Ford notified employees June 25th, takes effect September 1st. Businesses around the world have grappled with how much flexibility to allow workers since the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. Some, such as J.P. Morgan and Amazon, have mandated that hybrid workers return 5 days a week. Everybody back to work. All right. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address is info@nwheeltime.com. And we will continue and say goodbye after these brief messages. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check us out online at InWheelTime.com. We're always looking for new, informative, and fun automotive things to bring to our global audience. If you have an idea, event, or a road trip destination you'd like for us to feature, let us know. Our email address is info@InWheelTime.com. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the In Wheel Time app. When you're on the road this summer, grab a podcast from your favorite podcast provider, including the new SiriusXM podcast channel and Odyssey Radio's app. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time video technical director is We Always Need More Jeff Zekin. The booking agent, video editor, people finder, and do-all, Mike Out of This World Mars. Chief engineer, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Be safe out there. Stay cool. Have a great and safe 4th of July week.
Absolutely.
From all of us here at the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We'll see you soon.